Hey, YouTube Nation, it's me, John Laval. Listen, I wanted to give you my opinion on doctors, their, this reckless medicine that they practice. They basically do what the hell they want. I don't see any doctors with any special skills. They just ruin lives. I'll tell you something, I was in the hospital. I had a leg problem, basically ruined my life, but this is not the story I'm going to tell you. I was in there for 5 months, and when you're with a bunch of people in a hospital for 5 months, you just get to listen to people and their tragic stories, and they're unaware that it's an epidemic. It's not just something that happened to them. I know an old lady, I met an old lady, and she doesn't even live very far from where I live, and in fact she's only 2 blocks from where I live, and she is 94 years old, and she is very, very desperate not to end up in a nursing home. This is a concern of a 94-year-old woman, of course, I understand, and I'm praying and hoping that this doesn't happen to her, because she has a little house and she really enjoys it, and she's been living there for 40 years, and she's familiar with her surroundings, and I understand it brings her peace. Moving to a nursing home would not bring her peace, because her finances would dictate that she would be in a ward, which is basically a bed with a bunch of people in your room and a chair, and that's about it. And now she had her son, which was a great idea. He was living in the home, the small house that she has. He's about 60 years old or something, I think, somewhere in there. And he was a great help to her. He was keeping her out of the old age, out of the seniors home, by doing the things that were hard for her, because she spends most of her time in a wheelchair. Because it's hard for her to get up. She's kind of frail, but her health is not too bad. Now, what happened was, he goes to the doctor. The doctor tells him he should have bypass surgery, because the tests are indicating that the arteries in the heart are getting plugged up, so avoid a heart attack. Let's go with the bypass. So he agrees to it, not knowing, not being very educated on the issue, but he agrees with it. And they do the bypass, and he gets through it. Great disability for about 4 months, but he managed to get through it. But in bypass surgery, they take the veins out of your legs, and that's used in the surgery to bypass any blockage. Well, it's discovered shortly after that the circulation of the legs is so bad now that they have to amputate his legs, so now both legs are gone. He's in a wheelchair. His mother's 94 years old, as I said, and now she's basically burdened, trying to keep him from having to go to a nursing home, actually keeping both of them from having to go to nursing homes now, because he can't handle his daily affairs, dressing himself, washing, cooking meals. He's basically dependent on her, and she's 94 years old. I mean, this is no way to bring your life to a conclusion, and with all this work to the very end. I mean, she's out shoveling snow and having to cut the lawn, everything. It's just way too much for her. And let me tell you something about the doctor. The doctor's not going to take any responsibility. Oh shit, they made their money, and they just move on to the next case, and they just leave mayhem and destruction behind them, and just with a blatant disregard for the damage they do, and they should be held accountable. I mean, I'd like to see her sue the shit out of him, sue the shit out of the hospital for destroying any possibility of peace in her life. The lawyers will say, well, is there any wages lost? Well, no. Then they don't want to represent you. So the doctors just walk away completely scot-free, and they just keep filling their pockets up a bunch of bastards. And this goes on all the time. All the time. It's just story after story. This whole idea of success stories coming out of hospital. I did 5 months of listening to people, story after story of just absolute tragedy of what doctors do. They're all a bunch of bastards making a lot of money. They're unskilled and they really don't give a shit about their patients because it's just one big money machine for the hospital and a money machine for the doctors. And if you all burn in hell for what you've done to people, you should quit your jobs. That'd be the right thing to do.